It was a late night or morning at the state capitol. The governor, however, is not pleased with the state budget. Good evening, Arizona. I'm Patty Kirkpatrick. Today, Governor Jan Brewer used her line item veto to undo many critical budget cuts made by the state legislature. But the biggest cut of all is in the area of education. Christine Harrington live at the state capitol with the very latest. Christine?
Well, Patty, this is simply unprecedented. This is the first time in state history that K-12 education hasn't been funded. Now, ultimately, there is rollover money from the last fiscal year that will help public schools run for the next 2 weeks. But after that, it is crucial that the governor and the state legislature reach a compromise by July 15th. Otherwise, these public schools are in a whole lot of trouble.
I believe this entire legislative session has been bad for our children in the state of Arizona.
The state legislature passed a budget early this morning, cutting a total of $630 million. $220 million of that amount straight from K-12 education.
We just don't understand why they won't look at better revenue options.
And neither does the governor, so she made a drastic cut of her own, vetoing all K-12 funding and calling the legislature back for a special session.
There's zero funding going forward for K-12 until some sort of budget negotiation is fixed now.
You might think the head of the state schools would be up in arms about K-12 funding being cut to zero, but Superintendent Tom Horn says,
I think I'm smart enough not to get in between a battle between the governor and the legislature.
State Treasurer Dean Martin says,
this is a negotiating tactic. This is the governor's holding the legislature over a barrel, basically. Do this or else there is no school.
The public schools will get the $600 million rollover payment they have coming to them today. But school districts are expecting another $300 million